Hello again everyone, my name is Titans Creed and I'm here on Sega Driven as we continue our coverage of the Sonic Amateur Games Expo in 2022. In today's video, we'll be looking at Sonic Encore, developed by Lordgimpet. Now I will say off the bat that when I heard Encore was a 3D game with a lack of a boost mechanic, I was somewhat skeptical. But what I was greeted with was a fantastical game which is a love letter to levels from Sonic's classic roots and is genuinely admired in 3D. There are a very wide range of characters to try in Sonic Encore, and we will start with Sonic the Hedgehog, which is your given, and then we've got Ray the Squirrel, Mighty the Armadillo, Shadow the Hedgehog, Knuckles the Echidna, Miles Tails Prower, and we've even got Blaze the Cat. All of the characters have their own unique movement sets, but the dev does state that in the current build they consider only Sonic, Ray and Mighty to be in a finished state. But again, all characters do have their own moves that make them feel unique in their own right. And to say otherwise would be sorely underestimating the work that's been put in here, as all of the characters are definitely worth trying out in the current incarnations that exist in the current build of the game. And the same can be said about the level options that are available as options as well. They've gone and they've put Emerald Hill as a tutorial level, just so everybody gets their green hill love. You can't miss that green hill in every Sonic game. But then you've also got the features of Oil Ocean, you've got Mystic Cave, you've got Ice Cap, and there's even Aqua Lake, which is a love letter to Sonic 2 from the Master System. Each of the Act 2s and the tutorial level do have a main boss, and every Act 1 does have their sub-bosses as well, which matches their zone. Some are even pulled in from other games as well, so that they match the aesthetic of the level. As an example, Aqua Lake Act 2 has the Tidal Tempest boss from Sonic CD. But otherwise, they're all very good, and they're exactly what I would imagine the 2D bosses would look like on a 3D plane. It's brilliant that they're imagined in that exact sense, and that's really, really good, because there were many points that I've just wanted a game which has the classic levels in 3D with the bosses represented in a 3D aspect similar to Sonic 3D, and this is what this does for me. It ticks that box that I've wanted. Some of those bosses, however, aren't fully functioning and they do need tweaking. As an example, the Aqua Lake Act 1 boss isn't even fully functioning yet. It just sits there and lets you slap it, which, to be fair, is quite hilarious on its own. The game offers several play modes as well. You've got your simple straight play mode where you can go through the tutorial level, through the rest of the levels in order, but the dev has put in the option to select the levels individually, as well as entered in a time attack mode if that tickles your fancy. Finally, I will say that the music is actually really on point for the levels. They're not the original tracks lifted from the base games, but they are slightly remixed and they do sound like they fit, which is always fun. Slightly different music that is familiar is always going to hit that nice little point of nostalgia. I do have a couple of caveats, however, and that is anyone who knows me, that when I come in to play the Sonic games recently, I feel like if a level takes too long, it can wear thin, and it can become a little bit too tedious to play through. However, in saying that, I do find that some of the levels are the right length, personally for myself. Mileage may vary depending on the person who's playing the game, but all in all, every level is fun, every level has its own unique stance and feel. My only other caveat as well is that the underwater sound effects seem like they're slightly louder than everything else that exists in the game, and that's even with turning the sound down to my own personal options. It has the individual sliders for the music and the SFX and the voices. Superb, brilliant stuff, love it. All in all, I would say that Sonic Encore is a very fun little romp, and I had way more fun than I originally expected going into it. One of the most standout things during anything though was when I was showing it to a friend and just dodging a load of the badnik attacks as they were coming through me, and it ended up being the most scary part as well. And that's just if you decide to dodge the badniks, especially on the earlier levels, and they chase you relentlessly. And if you just get that line of motorbugs or the Rhinobots, and they're just chasing you close to the screen, it's scary, but it's also entertaining. I do recommend grabbing Sonic Encore, folks. Give it a try while you can, even before and after the inevitable tweaks that come to it.